I hope you're all doing well today. I'm coming on to show you a product on behalf of Handyhippo Crafts, and this month they've sent me a marvellous tool that is going to help me immensely with my crafting, and this is called the Finger Guard Trimmer, and the company is Woodware. That is the brand name. It comes in this packaging and you've got all the instructions all on the back, easily to follow. It does also have interchangeable blades. It shows you how to change them all. It's very simple and I'm going to show you. It comes with a straight cutting blade and a scoring blade, which is excellent because it eliminates the need for a separate scoreboard. Although I do love my scoreboard, so I will still use that. But say you were going away or you was going to a friend or going to a crop, saves you taking two items, you just take the one because you can turn it into a scoring board. Okay, so this is it and it's a lovely colour. Look, it's pink. So it's a winner. Straight away just buy it because it's pink. But no, this is what the cartridges look like. They're in sealed units. You cannot cut yourself on that blade because it's inside. Okay, and the blade does not pop out until you press down on that when you're cutting. That makes the blade pop out, okay? So to change the blades, I'll show you that first. It's very easy. It doesn't matter how limited your motor skills are. It's quite, it's shaped there, and that is not difficult to undo. It doesn't take a lot of force. And it just opens like that, and you've got your cartridge in there, and you just simply, with your finger and thumb, pinch on there and pull it out. There's no click. You don't have to, put anything in. You just put it in. You don't have to wait till it clicks or anything like that. You just put it in and shut that, and that clicks. And then you're ready to go, okay? Just make sure you can see which one you've got, because one says scoring and one says straight. Not like me, when I had the scoring one in earlier, and I was thinking, why isn't this cutting? It's because I had the scoring one in. Now it has these slots underneath for you to store your cartridges that you're not using, so that you don't lose them. And there are space for if you want to buy any of the other cartridges that are available. It's got soft rubber feet, so it can grip on your table and it won't scratch, and it's nice and solid. So if you lean on it, you're not going to break it. Obviously you're not going to go jumping up and down on it. That's not what it's for. But it's very sturdy, and all these components are metal. I'm imagining they're aluminium, but don't quote me on it. It looks like it. My husband uses aluminium at work, and that's what that looks like, which means it's lightweight, but it's strong, okay? And these are all metal as well, which means they'll last longer, and there's no fear of, sometimes if it's just plastic and numbers are on, they can rub off, can't they, and you can't see. Well, there's no fear of that. So let me just check that I've got the right, yeah, that's the straight tool, so that wants to go in, that's to cut with. Now, the main reason I like this cutter as opposed to the one that I actually have at home, first of all, it's got quite a large base there. The one that I have, which I'm not going to tell you the brand, but it is one of the leading brands if you shop in the main crafting shop in the UK, because we don't have a right lot of choice, do we? That's why it's good to go buy online and widen our choice, and therefore get better prices. And the one that I have, the actual base plate finishes about here, okay? So it's very, very narrow. So, in fact, I'll show, have I got it? No, I haven't, it's in the other room. So, it's lightweight and it's easy to store, but when it comes to actually cutting, it's quite difficult because the base finishes there. Then when I'm putting my paper on, your paper's kind of flapping about a bit, whereas here you've got a nice sturdy platform to put your paper on. And also, this does have, if you turn it to the side, can you see that lip there? And it has one at the other side. The cutter that I currently have only has a lip at one side. It doesn't have a lip at the other. So what these lips do is, it might look like nothing, but when you're cutting it makes a huge difference, because that is where you butt your paper up. It's where you butt things against, isn't it? To make sure that you're straight. And if you don't have one, especially if you're cutting a long piece, then you're going to start going like this, and you end up you know, with it not very straight. And also, because this has got a longer plate, you've got more space to butt it up, so you can be more confident that your paper's going to be straight. And in addition, this one has a pull-out wing. Now my other one does, but the pull-out wing bit doesn't have a lip. Again, you can see it there. And it's so you can butt your paper up. So if you're cutting a 12 by 12 sheet, you can be confident, because you've got a butting edge there and a butting edge there, you can be confident that your paper is going to be straight. Okay? As long as it's straight to start with. Then your cut will be straight. Now, that may seem like nothing, but if you don't have those butting up edges on a trimmer, your paper and your measurements are not necessarily going to be straight. And then, you know, I've done it myself and I've wasted a whole sheet of paper because it's like cut like that. It's not cut straight because I've not been able to keep it straight. And my eyesight's not brilliant. You know, a lot of ladies don't have excellent eyesight, so you need all the help you can get. So that really is a big bonus of this cutter. Is the fact that it's got those butting up edges, and that's got measurements you probably can't see in this light, but it does continue the measurements of that ruler all the way along, and it goes up to, I believe it goes up to 16, let me just check. Yes, it goes up to 16 inches, which is 41 centimetres. So if you're a crafter, that's more than enough, isn't it? Because normally, under normal circumstances, you know, it's 12 by 12s that we're cutting, isn't it? But yeah, that is quite, you know, so you've got a large cutting area there. I think it's great. Not to mention the fact that it's pink, which is a must. Now, to go with my new cutter, I also got some chipboard. Sorry, my mind's wandering now. Oh dear. And I got 3 different weights of chipboard, all from Handy Hippo, all available on their site. Now, I've never used this grey board or chipboard. Some people call it chipboard, some people call it grey board. I've never used it before because I've always used recycled items. Mostly cereal boxes. Now, cereal boxes are great and recycling's great, but you do have to double up the thicknesses and in some cases treble up the thicknesses, or else it warps when you're using it. So to have some on board that's, you know, to hand, that you don't have to start messing about with, that you can just cut and you're ready to go, is awesome. It's awesome for me. And they've given me, like I say, 3 different weights. Now, I'm not familiar with the weights of chipboard, so I'm just saying that I've got a lightweight one, a medium one, and a heavy one. That is super, super thick. That one's medium, and that one's medium, and then that one's really quite thin. I probably wouldn't make anything more than tags out of that one on its own. That one, you know, like gift tag size. That one I'd make ATCs or the larger tags, things like that. And you could use it for album covers. And this one is super, super, super thick. You could make really good quality, you know, mini album covers with that. So what I'm doing is I'm going to see how this cutter fares on these 3 different weights of chipboard. Now I have already tried it because I didn't want to look an idiot if it didn't work. So the thin one cuts more or less as easy as paper. I'm just going to cut 3x4 strips, 3x4, sorry, that's my Yorkshire accent coming through, saying 3x4. 3x4 strips because I know they won't get wasted because that's ATC size. So 1, 2, as that cut it. And that's cut it. So I've gone up and down a few times, 3 or 4 times, to make sure that it was a nice clean cut. That's on the lightweight. So it does cut it. Right, let's try the medium. Is that the medium? This is the medium. This is much thicker again. Let's have a look. Don't forget you can also score these. You know, if you're doing album covers, you could use a full piece and just score and fold it. You wouldn't have to cut it. Put it up against that edge, make sure it's nice and, let's see. Now what I'm going to do with that one is I've gone over it 6 times. Now that has done enough where it's cut it, so you could fold it and then you could cover it. You wouldn't even need to do it in pieces. But if you want it in a piece, the best way is to turn it over, go back to the same measurement. This is what I find anyway, especially if you've got, you know, limited strength. It just makes it easier to cut through on one side, then turn it over and cut through on the other, and that's cut through fine. There you go, so that's cut the medium one, perfectly fine. You just have to go up and down a few times, but I mean, that's no biggie, is it? Right, now this is the daddy one. This is the heavyweight one. Let's see if we can get through this. I'm teasing you really because I've already had a go and I know it does. You just have to go up and down. It does squeak a little bit, this. I might put some candle wax on runners, only because the squeaky noise is doing my head in. And then fold it again. And then turn it over, go back to the same measurement. And it's much safer than using a blade, a craft knife. Just not quite gone all the way through. This one is a bit harder to cut, but it is very, very heavyweight chipboard. It's done it. And then obviously you just sand your edges if you're bothered about any of the imperfections from cutting. You just sand it, don't you? Have I got a sander to hand? No, have I, Ek? No, I haven't got one to hand. But you know, I've never used one myself, but I've seen a lot of crafters sanding the grey board to get it nice and smooth. So that just goes to show you that it's not only excellent for paper, it cuts through all 3 thicknesses of those chipboards, and that's medium, light, medium, and the thick. I don't even know what measurement that is, but it is quite thick. Is it a millimetre? I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to give you measurements when I'm not 100% sure. But like I say, that is very, very thick. Very thick chipboard, grey board, whatever it is you want to call it. And it's cut it. Now, as I have said, if somebody had recommended this to me as a newbie crafter, I would have saved myself a lot of time and effort and money, because this is a brilliant tool. So hop along to Handy Hippos and have a look. I strongly, strongly recommend it. I probably won't use my other trimmers now. They're going to go in the tomb of doom for failed tools. Because this is my new favourite. Right, ladies, thanks for watching. Take care. Hop along and have a look at the website. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.